Guys, Liam here from Primal Nomad, hope you're doing well. Today I've actually got the live streaming rig on my shoulder, so there's some people watching right now as I'm filming this for you guys. But I'm following a game trail right now. We're going to see what we can find at the end and just pick a nice little spot. I've got an awesome knife from Field and Steel to show you guys. That's the Rooster, it's a new EDC for the UK, and yeah, really excited. So of course, as I'm live streaming, people can be really interactive with me. I've got chat in my hand, and as I'm walking through the woods right now, people can have a little chat with me. There we are, we've got some messages coming through. People can be nice and interactive and yeah, ask me questions. There we are, someone from Australia, hope you're well, Blade Wolf 63. It's so good to be able to interact with the viewers and you guys. So yeah, definitely come over and join on the live stream, both on Twitch and YouTube. I'm out here in the woods looking for a really nice spot, and I think I've just found it. That spot behind there.
Lovely woodland you're in. The place to be.
100%. There we are, guys. Lovely woodland I'm in. It is camping with Dexter. It's really lovely. It's a hardwood woodland, and yeah, there's loads of hornbeam behind me right here and oak, so it's a really good fire source. There's loads of deadfall, which means fire collection is going to be fairly easy, like materials for fire lighting. So I found this really nice spot now here amongst the kind of hornbeams, the oaks. There's a few beech around, and yeah, there's loads and loads of deadfall everywhere, just within arm's reach. There's sticks everywhere, all over the floor, and they're often overlooked, especially in England. It can be quite damp, so people often overlook the ground. But once we've had a few days or at least weeks of dry weather, you can guarantee this stuff's good to use. So when it is dry out, don't look too far away, don't spend too long looking for firewood, when it can actually, a lot of the time, be right under your feet. You do have to be selective, so just the old touch test, give it a feel. If it's cold and clammy and feels damp, it more than likely is. Our estate detective just having a little voice comm there. So yeah, I'm gonna start a fire today very simply and show you guys what I like to call the meter fire. I'm going to pick my spot in this woodland where I can stay firmly rooted to the ground and collect everything within a metre to start a fire. That doesn't always include tinder. Tinder you can collect when you walk in. Normally if you see birch trees you can peel those off. I've got loads of stuff in my tinder pack from when I've done exactly that, so I won't collect that, although within arm's reach there is plenty of stuff that you could potentially use as tinder, especially this dry leaf material. It would just take a little bit of extra work. But there's also birch twigs around, there's a few bits of bark, so there's another opportunity there where you could buff some of that up and use a ferro rod to get that going as well. But we'll get going. I'm only going to do a small fire in a little fireball today and then cook up a steak. And like I said, I've also got a knife to show you the Rooster by Field and Steel, so really excited to get that on camera. And yeah, let's have a little look what we can get within arm's reach. So I've got a first aid kit with me. It's always useful and sensible to carry one of these, especially when you're working with knives or fire. So I've just got a small one of those. I've got my clean canteen today, which is 1.1 litres, so about 1.1 kilos plus the weight of the bottle when it's packed in. So it is a little bit of extra weight, but definitely one to have when you're having a fire as well. And also you always get thirsty, don't you? So in terms of simple kit, it's an essential one. I have this little tiny lightweight fireball from Uk, UCO, which allows me to have a fire basically anywhere and keep the ground protected. And then further in the bag for underneath, I have a soldering mat, which is perfect for protecting the ground under the UK fireball. I also have a flat grill, which is just useful for then suspending over the fireball and cooking on. I've got some steak today to cook, nice and simple, and some smoked salt and pepper. You guys have asked, how do I live stream and how do I broadcast it back to YouTube and Twitch? So I'll show you just inside the backpack very briefly. I wouldn't want to walk through London like this. Well, I'm sure you'd be fine, but it'd be funny getting stopped. So as you can see, I've got a box in my bag here, which I've custom made, which is full of power packs, a Raspberry Pi kind of computer, with actually an Orange Pi Plus, a load of fans and my mobile routers. So you can see all of those flashing away in there, and that's connected to my camera, which either goes onto my shoulder or onto this tripod and broadcasts back. So right now there's a few people sat behind the screen, the other end of this camera, watching me filming you, filming me. So yeah, that's how it broadcasts back to Twitch and YouTube. I've got wireless microphone on there, and in the future, if any of you guys do want to see a build of this, which is the Bella box, do let me know down in the comments below. There we are. Could be Jim. Hi YouTube. So by scraping the ground off to the side, you're obviously exposing the earth, always close to, which minimises fire risk, and you're also creating a pile to the side which has all these sticks and bits of material in that you can quickly sift through and find quite a few pieces ready to go and help aid your fire lighting. A lot of this is hardwood, so really good quality material and ready to go, ready to burn. Like I said, you just want to make sure that when you're touching it, if you snap it and it sounds like a fire crackling, you're probably right, that's ready to burn. So as I said, I'm going to stay firmly rooted to the ground here and just do what I call a 1 meter fire and collect all my materials from around me. So I'm within this area, and obviously, as you can see, there's hundreds of sticks all the way around me. There's bits here. I really don't have to go far to collect anything. I've got good finger thickness stuff. I've got small matchstick thin thickness stuff connected onto that as well. So I've opened up the Uk fireball here, which again is a really awesome folding fireball, which packs away nice and easily and allows for easy fire management. And within that one kind of spread around myself, reaching just within the meter range, I've got a nice pile of matchstick thin kindling here, really good size and bone dry, ready to catch a small flame. I've then got some stuff moving up from kind of pencil lead thickness all the way up to pencil thickness and finger thickness, which is then going to increase that fire's burning duration and a bit more strength, and then I can chuck on the bigger stuff. And there's plenty more bits around me which I can then feed the fire. Now this isn't meant to be a video on how to have a fire within a meter, so not how to have a fire a meter by a meter, not how to have a fire constantly fed the whole night from 1 square meter space or anything like that, but it's more of a case of displaying that if I'd fell over here and twisted my ankle, the temperature was coming in, or something worse had happened, I could actually reach around myself and use what I have to hand to get a fire going. So that's what the display is, and I'll show you now just how I use a ferro rod to get a fire going, pretty much guaranteed every time. Tiny little bit of preparation, some dry materials, and you're good to go. So I've actually got the Journeyman Handcrafts wax canvas pouch that I picked up at the Bushcraft show, and inside here I've got a few goodies, my cutlery, a little trowel, some spray plasters just in case, but the most important bit of kit, which usually would be in my pocket, but as I was walking in, I wanted to just keep it in my backpack, and that is my ferro rod, which is like my fire one. So I've got my ferro rod here, which is an alloy of metal, creates a shower of sparks, and I have this neck knife from Field and Steel, which is the Rooster. Now the Rooster has a rounded spine, so that there isn't ideal for striking a ferro rod, but on the tip he's given a nice 90-degree edge there, so it's still rounded at on the very spine, but it's nice and sharp on that edge there. This is the Rooster. It's an EDC knife by Field and Steel. As I've said, the Field and Steel Rooster has a nice top edge for creating a nice shower of sparks. The only thing obviously you do have to maintain is something holding the blade actually open, because it's a non-locking blade to be legal for the UK. I like to keep my finger behind that as I strike, so it stops the knife from folding back onto your hand. That's the only risk when you are using a folding knife with a ferro rod. So I'll keep that shut up for now. I'll keep the ferro rod to the other side, and I'm quickly just going to get my fire lighting pad off of this kit. Nice birch bark here, and I'm going to shred some of this just into some rough strips, and I'm going to keep a little tab like so. These little strips here will be more than enough to get my fire going, and I have some more to the side if I need. So with my knife, I'm just going to scrape the bark here and create a pile of dust. I'm just dragging the knife sideways along that to create that little pile. Now, in all honesty, that is more than likely enough, but as they say with fire prep, more doesn't hurt and it's better to be over prepared. So let's keep going on this side, build up some more dust. So it only takes one gust to put it out, and if that was your only bit of bark, you could be in trouble. Or if that was your last bit of energy. So we've got that nice pile of bark dust now. I'm just going to show that to stream. And I'm going to get these smaller bits just up in this corner in an easy to grab fashion, and quickly put some smaller sticks in the bottom of this, which just gives a nice heart to the fire when it starts to get going, and a bit of a platform that's flammable in itself. So we'll grab the ferro rod now, and we're all prepared, we're all ready to go. We've got my kindling here, the matchstick thin stuff like I showed you before, and to the right of the fire we've got some of this bigger, thicker stuff. Just a tiny little strike down, cover that wind, utilise those bits of birch bark and move that over, get some of those to catch. Use that as a guard for the wind if you need to. Drop that over, and then hold your tinder over the flames and let it kind of flicker through. And then really from there, pile it up. There's no neat fashion to do that. There's different methods of stacking or laying a fire, but really it's about getting that material on there nice and lightly and making sure that there's enough airflow. So now that we've got that, we can put our little bits away, ferro rod back in the pouch. So now I've got all of that kindling burning, I can actually put on the slightly thicker little bits here. You can see how much easier it is when you're prepared. That smaller stuff is burning for a good amount of time, and it's given a good bed of heat already. So I can get these thicker bits on top, and with a fireball like this, there's not much room, so you don't want to overload in it, so things are spilling off the edge. And that there is a very quick, easy to get fire, sourced from a meter around myself. No need to go off and collect loads and loads of different materials for your fire. So yeah, just keep it simple. I think that's one of the big takeaways from today's video I hope people bring. And maybe go out and practice it. Do a little 1 meter fire, maybe even drop me a tag or something. Be awesome to see what stuff you managed to achieve from a quick little spread and what's around you. So I've got steak today to cook on the fire. I'm not going to do it caveman steak, but I have got this metal grill. They're in plastic bags just so I can pack away all my rubbish nicely once I'm done with this and put the grill back in without messing up my backpack. So I have with me as well 4 tent pegs which can go around this fire pit here and then hold up the grill. So I'm going to construct that now and then we can get cooking with this steak. So I'm going to chuck the steak on now that the flames have died down and we've just got basically a bed of embers, and then I'm going to season the other side just straight out of the bag onto the grill. Makes it easy and less washing up to do. And I've got some smoked salt and pepper in this little foil wrap here, and I'll just season the top of that with it, and when I flip it, do so on the reverse. Campfire cooking should be really simple, really nice and easy. And although this is hardwood and I could have definitely done a caveman steak, this ensures that that seasoning stays on there, which of course with the caveman steak, seasoning's not really needed anyway. Oh, that is cooked perfectly on that side. I can't explain how good that looks. I'm just going to top that off with a bit of seasoning. And we'll be able to get that down me very soon. One thing with hardwood is it ashes up extremely quickly. So that can prevent a lot of the heat coming through. So just a gentle blow over the top just takes off that white ash and allows the embers to kind of glow a little bit better. You probably see as I do that, tiny little flames as well because we've oxygenated it. The steak's about ready now, guys. I'm just gonna cut open to test, see what we're up against in terms of cooking. We're about there. Perfect. Nice slight pink run through the middle, but definitely cooked all the way through. And as you can see, the rooster just glides through. It's not much weight being put on that at all, and it's a bit harder when I'm jiggling all around. But yeah, really nice little EDC knife, and one that I'm confident carrying around with me when I'm out. This looks fantastic. Ooh. That is so good, honestly. That's cooked to perfection. And the old Upton Smokery smoked salt and pepper just gives it this really nice, good campfire kick. Obviously I've been cooking it on a campfire too, so it's kind of double smoked. Such a good flavour. Black pepper and steak is one of those little combos made in heaven. But yeah, today really is about coming out and keeping things simple and basically, yeah, just picking your spot based on what you want to do. So I knew I had to get a fire going. I didn't want it to take ages, so I looked for somewhere where there was loads of deadfall around, and as you saw, within a metre's area I could start a fire. Again, keeping it simple with the knife. I've got a nice simple EDC folder. It's something I can be confident when I'm coming out with. I don't have the anxiety of bringing a fixed blade with me, and also it does everything I need it to do. It lights a fire, it cuts my meat, it will cut my wood, it will cut timber. I'll show you that very shortly. It's a very proficient tool. So yeah, just keep things simple, keep your kit nice and light, and go out and enjoy. I hope today's kind of inspired you to go out and just do things on a simple basis. So it's probably where I'll leave the video for now, just a nice short one. I'm going to dig into this steak, so you might see a few bits more B-roll as I leave, pack up and what have you. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, stay safe and I'll see you soon. So yeah, have you guys been busy today? What have you guys been up to? So I've just harvested this tiny green branch of hornbeam. It's a slow grower, so I rarely ever do that, but I wanted to display just how nice of a clean cut this makes as a folder. Obviously we often use fixed blades as bushcrafters and can get quite attached to them, but when you're out on a walk or out live streaming, someone like myself, something like this is really versatile. It cuts really nice and cleanly, and that rounded back makes it really comfortable on the thumb. And again, being stainless steel, it just gives you that kind of peace of mind that rust isn't going to set in, and just stropping it is going to keep that knife nice and sharp. Now for finer cuts as well, and for shaving, it's perfect. It's got a really sharp tip, as you can see there. Really sharp tip. Allows you to make those kind of grooves in this wood. But can't recommend it enough. The Field and Steel Rooster, a nice little one to go on your neck as a neck knife. And talking about neck knives as well, if you're in the market for a fixed neck knife, go check out the Naken by Feared Woods as well. Probably the counter to this blade. This is a folding neck knife. The Naken is a fixed one, but only about kind of that long. Perfect little bit of kit.